What I wonder most in life, when I'm in a melancholic mood, is simple. What will happen when I stop breathing? Death is something that I'm not afraid of, only due to the thought process behind the idea that if you are afraid to die, then you will, in fact, die. But I, on the other hand, I like to ask, what comes next? Have I lived a holy life enough to make my way to heaven, or have I failed and am destined for hell? Or do I simply remain dormant and lifeless until Judgment Day? Until then, I wait.
For thousands of years I have roamed the lands of both the other and the mortals. Indeed, the task is fairly easy, but the time invested is not nearly well spent. It's been 2,000 years since I was tricked by the original horror, and soon my time will come to pass on. First, I must choose someone who isn't easily persuaded, someone who's persistent and desperate. The time for the scythe to be passed on draws near. The time is indeed nigh. I'm glad you called me here, Nathaniel. I've been meaning to talk to you.
It's not a problem. I just have a few questions that need to be answered. For the past few weeks, I've been feeling unnatural chills, and for some reason, I've been thinking of you a lot more.
Oh, tell me, what thoughts are these?
Well, I was wondering, when will I die? And after that, where will I go? And I forgot, how will I die? I'm sorry, I must be getting ahead of myself, aren't I?
No, please. I get asked this question by mortals everywhere all the time.
You do?
You see, humans tend to neglect the existence of others in this world and think only of themselves, think the whole world revolves only around them. Well, I am here to tell you, human, it does not. Now, this question you have asked me, I absolutely cannot answer. When your time comes, you'll know.
Oh, no, I don't think you understand what's happening to me. I feel your presence more and more each day. I keep growing weaker and weaker. All my stress has just been piling up. Death, I need something different, whether it be death itself or a clean start, just something. Please, excuse me a minute. I just want it all to end. I can't take this anymore.
If you truly mean that, please, sit down.
You have an answer to all of my problems.
If you wish to know these things which I cannot say, drink from the contents of this cup.
But it's just
If you wish to know these things which I cannot say, drink from the contents of this cup.
You tricked me. You lied to me.
Did I? Fear not, mortal. We'll meet soon again after you've passed. You're in purgatory.
Oh, you don't possibly mean I'm...
Dead? Yes. You were dead.
But I don't get it. Why aren't I in heaven or even in hell for that matter?
I'm here to offer you a deal, Nathaniel. You know who I am, but you know not how long it's been since I could rest.
Just what are you trying to say?
I'm saying you would make the perfect death. Instead of going to slumber, take my place as the Reaper.
Why should I? I mean, what could I possibly gain from taking your job?
What could you gain? Why, you could gain eternal life with nothing to worry about. No family, no tedious work, no stress. Except There is but one rule. You have to collect souls.
That does sound very tempting, but, I mean, when I said a fresh start, this isn't what I meant.
How so? I specifically remember you asking for a fresh start or to die. I gave you one. But the other.
Well, you are correct in that sense, but when I said fresh start, I meant, well...
Typical humans. Always talking out the side of their fleshy, insignificant necks. Nathaniel, I am offering you a literally life-changing opportunity, and what? Would you rather spend your life living in dormancy, waiting for your soul to be judged and risking the chance of eternal torment? Well, I see you've made your point. Rest in peace, Nathaniel.
Wait!
What is this? A human wants to reconsider?
Please, just tell me more of what you do.
Well, it's quite simple, actually. Roam 2 different dimensions and do whatever you want. Eternal life and the gift of the life-taking touch.
That doesn't sound like very much, so why would you want to give up your position?
Well, you see, many moons ago, the true horror came for me. He took my life. See, unlike you, I wasn't ready to die. I had so much more to live for.
Wow. I'm honestly really sorry for you.
Yes, it is what you would call, sad. You see, I left behind a wife and 2 daughters. Lived in a time called the Anglo-Saxon period. It wasn't civilization like there is today. Times were different and people, they were actually desperate. Please, take your time in making your decision, for it is a big one. Besides, we do have all eternity.
I know, I just don't know if it's the right choice for me.
How so? If you choose judgment, you run the risk of eternal torment.
Yes, but I also might go to God's kingdom.
Nathaniel, Nathaniel, Nathaniel. Do you really think you've lived a holy life? What, the arguments with your family, your priority of work over God? Why, the biggest sin of them all is speaking to me.
You are absolutely correct.
So please, tell me, why do you want to risk eternal torment?
I'm only considering torment and judgment only because I'm really unstable mentally, and besides, if I did take the job as Reaper and I see my family, it'll kill me over and over again because I can't even communicate or talk with them or even touch them.
Indeed, your choice is great. But a little logic wouldn't hurt at this point.
But where will you go? Where will I go when it's my time to come? Can I at least have some first tips?
Tips? You say tips? Why, I had to figure everything out on my own when I was cursed. And when we pass on, we reside in our own shadows. You know, the valley of the shadow of death.
Wow. That's amazingly interesting, but I still need help. There's no way I could possibly know what to do without some guidelines or some rules.
There is but one rule or guideline. When they ask for a soul, be ready to take a life. And don't worry, for it is the time that God has assigned for them to die. And obviously, you must take their soul. Everyone will die eventually, Nathaniel. Even your families. You won't have to worry about being strong when you take their souls, for if you take the job, yours will be snatched.
So, basically, all of my emotions, troubles, and worries, they'll just vanish, right?
You are correct.
Wow. Everything that I've asked for is actually being handed to me on a silver platter. Don't be stupid, Nathaniel. Don't let your emotions get in the way of making the right choice. Heaven is eternal, but hell is as well. I don't want to risk it. It doesn't look like a hard job anyways. I mean, besides, how hard could it actually be?
It is actually fairly easy.
Okay. I've come to resolution with myself.
Have you made up your mind?
I cannot believe I'm doing this. I will relieve you of your burden. Oh, horror, give me your job.
Sure. You've made a wise choice, Nathaniel. Here, take my hand.
What's happening to me? What is this pain?
You have undertaken the task of the Eternal Reaper. Your soul must now be taken. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, the only way to relieve yourself of this burden is to get someone else to do it. It may not be forced upon them, or else severe consequences will be faced. Anything you touch shall instantaneously die, so I do suggest you be careful what and who you touch.
I don't understand this at all. I mean, is there anything actually enjoyable I could do? You didn't tell me about any of this.
You are no longer human. What was just done cannot be undone. Farewell, horror.
I believe I asked you this before, but where will you go?
To sleep.
Wow. This isn't what I asked for at all. What have I done?
Well, it's too late to turn back now.
Wait, I thought you passed on.
Each Reaper has direct spiritual contact with one another. I can contact you anytime I please, and vice versa.
That's kind of cool. But, wait. Okay, let me get this straight. Does that mean the original, God-created angel of death can speak with us as well?
He only speaks in Latin, but understands all languages.
Equidem in vale Nathaniel umbra.
He said we're present in the valley of our shadow, Nathaniel.
Oh, that's, not gonna lie, that's rather scary. But, I guess it's my time to ascend upon the world.
Indeed, it is, young Death. We will meet again in the physical form soon. Until then, farewell.
Wow. I can't believe this. This all started with just a simple cup of tea.